Okay, I am a new user to Virtual DJ, and I've been moving my entire library from one machine to another, and I've uh, changing all of my root paths and my file paths. And then I came over, I got everything ready and transferred over, and I tried loading things up, and then what do you know? I found out I'm completely SOL because the only way to change the only way to relocate a missing file is to do it one by one, and that's by right-clicking on the folder. And if it's missing, then you'll see an option here for it's either under file operations or batch or something like that, where you can then relocate the file. Or I also think it's at the top of this menu right here. But that you can only do that one at a time. Whereas with Serato, there's a button right up here in the top left of the browser that says relocate files. I'm coming from Recordbox. If you come from Recordbox, you would just click on file and then library, and then there's an option on a subfolder to relocate missing files. It'll bring up a window, and it's immediately going to show hundreds, if not thousands, of songs that are missing. You literally just click one button, and then it's immediately solved. But with virtual, there's no such solution, or at least I haven't found a solution because I've been searching a lot online under forums, YouTube videos, the Virtual DJ website, the support group, really old forums, and even some recent forums, and none of them do that. And then people are just straight up saying online there is no solution to doing batch relocations, and that's a huge problem. And so I really just was kind of desperate and just started tinkering around, and I was able to find a solution, and I'd like to show that now. Um, I did this, by the way, by using the My Library extension. I actually have no idea if it works with the My Lists, which is the standard that comes with your library. Um, but I was able to do it with the extension, and it's very helpful to have anyway. So if you don't have it already, I'll just briefly show you. You do go to settings and then extensions, other, database filters, and there's really just one on here. It's just available in multiple languages. So you just find your one that's in your language, install it, and it'll show up here at the bottom, and I just put mine up here at the top. Now, the other thing I'll say is when you click on the My Library root folder, at first everything was completely empty. And you can see the same is true for all these other subfolders. When I click on karaoke or video or audio, it's completely empty. So really all the songs are just in all of these blue folders. Um, so I did it by using the main root folder of everything, which is My Library. And I found this to be helpful too because on Serato and Recordbox, you have a My Collection, which shows you your entire library. Whereas with Virtual, by default, that's not the case. You know, you just get your My Lists, and all your other songs are just kind of hidden within your local music files, and you got to go find them or search for it. I mean, your search folder always works, but I like to have my entire library visible, and that's only that's only the case now that I've done the solution. So, like I said, everything was empty on the My Library tool, and basically all I did was I went to my Finder, I put everything on the cloud, which is why all of my root folders are completely different now, and the file paths are all different. And I highlighted basically everything. It was a huge pain in the butt, but thankfully I only had to do it once. And I just basically opened up every single one of my folders and Control A'd it, and then I had to go back and unhighlight all of the blue folders because the blue folders will transfer. If you drag and drop it over to the My Library, it will transfer. But there's nothing inside of it. So I could take this hip hop and transfer it over, but it would just show hip hop, and it wouldn't open up. It wouldn't transfer over any of the contents. And if you drag and drop it onto the deck, it's just going to say unknown file type. So that's not desirable. So I would open up all of my folders, and then I would go back and highlight everything and unhighlight all the blue folders. And again, this was kind of a pain in the butt. It was a little bit tedious. It took about 10 or 15 minutes to unhighlight everything. And it was tricky because I didn't want to accidentally unhighlight everything and basically lose my progress. But thankfully that didn't happen because that would have been an even bigger pain in the butt. But now that I've done it, I just basically picked up my entire library, and I just literally just dragged and dropped it onto the My Library subfolder, and I just dropped it right here in the open space. And it was 9 or 10,000 files. It worked like a charm. It immediately identified all the same files, and whereas in the past it showed the old file path, it immediately updated to the new file path, and it was done. And like I said, it was a pain in the butt at first, but moving forward, anytime I update a folder, let's say I update my hip hop folder, and currently it looks like it's got 8 or 10 songs in here. Well, if it updates and now I have 20 songs in there, I can just go in there, highlight everything, and then again just drag and drop it in there. And it's fine to, in my experience, I could be wrong, but in my experience, if you drag and drop the same song into your My Library, then it's not going to create a duplicate. At least I don't think. That's what I've seen in my experience. That's basically where I'm at with that. So let me just give an example here. I'm going to show. Um, I was looking at another folder here. So I want to look at all remix, and I want to use the Tylum water as an example. Um, so let's type that in, right? Tylum water. Here's all the remixes up here, as well as the original. So these three are the remixes. This is the original. I think this is another remix. No, this is the same song in two different folders, is what it is. No, 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 no. These are all remixes, I believe. Yeah, that's the okay. So four remixes and then one original down here, and then you've even got another result down here under downloads. This is my old file path, and that's a solution where I need to basically remove that from my database so that it no longer appears there. So those are working now. So let's change the name of this folder. I'm gonna go from all remix to just the number one, and that should change the file path and make all of these songs inside of here create an error so that it's going to show file not found. So if I type it in again, Tyler Water, here's all of my remixes, and this is the original, which is in another folder. So everything should do file not found except for this one, which is the original, and the original is in a different file path, which I did not. I didn't make a change to this file path, so it should still load up just fine. Whereas all the other ones are going to go file not found. Okay, so now all I have to do is highlight all of these and then just drag and drop it into the My Library root folder. So it's already highlighted here on the left, as you can see, and I'm gonna just drop it in there. And so I'll go ahead and search for it again. We'll type in Tyler Water, and now it shows remix one, which is the updated file path. And all of these are loading in just fine. Easy peasy. Yeah, so that's how that's done. That's the solution. Hopefully that was helpful, and let me know what you think.